You know what to do. You just won't fucking do it. Like, you know what to do. But the challenge is, you just won't fucking do it. Like, we were to boil all of it down, and you were just really fucking honest with yourself. It's not that you don't know what to do. It's that you won't do it. If we sat back and looked inside of your body right now, and you could have a moment of fucking honesty with yourself, you know exactly what needs to be done in your body. You know what shit you're doing, you need to stop doing. You know what shit you're not doing, you need to start doing. It's not fucking rocket science. Just you won't fucking do it. Your relationship with God. It's not rocket science. Your pastor's been giving you the same message every fucking week for years. Same message. The Bible hasn't changed. The Word of God hasn't changed. The problem is not knowing what to do to follow God's voice. It's the fact that you won't fucking do it. Your marriage. You know what you need to do. You don't need to watch another marriage book on tape or audio, attend another fucking marriage conference, go to fucking therapy. There's hard shit in your marriage that you won't do. You won't have conversations you need to have. You won't collide on topics that matter. You won't tell the fucking truth. So can we stop pretending you don't know what to do in your marriage? Bullshit. You know exactly what the fuck to do, but you won't fucking do it. Money. Your business. Can we stop pretending for a second that you don't know what to do in your business? I don't know what to do. Bullshit. You do know what to fucking do. I don't know what to do to make more money. Bullshit. There's more free content on the internet about how to make money than has ever existed in the fucking history of this planet. The issue is not knowing what to do. It's not knowing how to do it. It comes down to one simple thing. You won't fucking do what's required. Yet, well, you have evidence of this in your life. You have evidence of when you have done what's required. And guess what happens? When you sit in front of you and you see the simple shit in front of you, you keep ignoring, and you do that, what happens every time? You get results. You get results that some would say are miraculous. People look at my world and the world of men at Warrior here. They look at the men who've come through this place, who've gone on to build massive movements, doing the same, teaching men how to do what's in front of them, by getting them to tell the fucking truth about what's in front of them, and then giving them tools and techniques and ideas around how to put themselves in power in order to fucking do what's right in front of them. I want you to imagine something right now. Imagine for a second you're not nearly as fucking stupid as you pretend. Let's imagine for a second you're not nearly as fucking incapable as you pretend. Let's make pretend that your race, your religion, your game in life is not nearly as difficult as you like to make it out to be. That people aren't nearly as prejudiced to you, that people aren't nearly as mean to you, and that the world is not nearly as difficult as your little victim mind likes to pretend it is. And let's come down to a simple fact. I had this conversation with a friend of mine, happens to be black. It was during Black Lives Matter. And I asked him a question. I said, bro, I've known you for a long time. I said, can I ask you a question straight? He said, yes. And I said, are the results that you're lacking in your business right now, are they because you're black? Like, I'm not black. You tell me. If you tell me from a genuine heart and deep truth that the reason you do not have the financial results that you want are because you're black, I can be along with that conversation. Let's talk about it. Guess what we got to at the end of that conversation? He won't do what's fucking required, and it has nothing to do with the color of his skin. He won't market the way he's supposed to. He won't run ads the way he's supposed to. He won't build sales funnels the way he knows he needs to. He won't get on sales calls the way he knows he needs to. Has nothing to fucking do with the color of his skin. Nothing. He won't do what's fucking required. So, just to keep the spirit of things, I have an Asian friend of mine, and I went to him about his marriage. And I said, listen, bro, I got a question for you because you've been bitching about your wife for a long time. I said, here's my question. Is the reason that you're not getting the results you want in your marriage because you're Asian? Is that why? Like your marriage doesn't work and your sex life is all fucked up because you're Asian? Is that why? I mean, if it is, I'm the first one to support you and understand this because I'm not Asian. I'm white. White as fuck, Viking style. I got a caveman fucking forehead. Not trying to pretend it. People ask me a question. Why don't you get a lot of black guys at work? I say, because black guys think I'm a crazy fucking white guy. They say that's some crazy white boy shit. That's why. That's exactly what they tell me. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't give a fuck. You want to come play? You don't want to come play? Don't come play. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Your race is irrelevant to me here. I don't give a shit. If you're a man, you have a penis, you want to access power predictably on a daily basis. I don't give a shit if you're Polynesian, Asian, black. I don't care what religion you are. Christian, Muslim, Jew. Don't give a fuck. What I care about is men doing what's in front of them. So I looked at him and I said, is the problem really because you're Asian, bro? Is the problem because you live in New York? Is that the problem? Is it because you're Asian, you live in New York, that's why your marriage has a problem? Is it a problem because you're Catholic, you're Asian, and you live in New York, that's why your marriage is a problem? He's like, well, no. And I said, yeah, you won't have hard fucking conversations with your wife. So can we start there and stop this idea that your race, the state you live in, the religion that you're part of, that any of that is a fucking excuse? The fucking excuses you keep putting in front of you only keep work to keep you stuck. So consider that your race, not an excuse. Not an excuse. Consider your religion, not. Consider inside of the game of money. Government's not the excuse. Oh, it's inflation. Oh, it's inflation. It's gas prices. That's why I'm not doing what's required in my business. Oh, it's Joe Biden or it's Donald Trump. That's why I'm not doing what's required in my business. It's the president's fault. That's the problem. It's my pastor. It's the way my parents raised me. It's the way my parents raised me. Guess what? We're all fucked up as kids. And guess what? As a parent, you're fucking your kids up right now. I'm fucking my kids up right now. We are perfectly called to fuck our children up so they can figure shit out. No matter how much you try, no matter how you do it, no matter how you operate as a parent, you're going to fuck your kids up just a bit. And that fuck up is part of their process of figuring themselves out. The end. So imagine what would happen. I'm here in Lake Tahoe presenting at Power Room today for 4 hours. A room filled with supposed power. We're going to find out. We're going to find out how much power is actually in this power room. That's what we're going to find out today. But my message for you is simple. It's the same message of WarriorCon 4. People are like, why would I come to WarriorCon 4? I was like, it's very fucking simple. You need to be surrounded by a group of men who hold themselves accountable to results and not excuses of race, religion, nationality, ethnicity, growth, where you came from, your parents' situation, your wife. Men who are done blaming. All races are welcome. All religions are welcome. All nationalities are welcome. All economic diversification is welcome. But understand, we're speaking directly to married men with children who run businesses, are entrepreneurs, or who desire to have those things. If you're a single guy and wants to fuck around on Tinder, we're not for you, bro. I'm not your guy. Go fuck around on Bumblebee. Go find yourself a mastermind where you can hand job each other about all the girls you fuck every week on the Bumble. I'm not interested in that shit. Not interested. We're interested in committed men looking for committed relationships that want to be married, that want to build families, that want to have it all. That's it. And it requires a whole lot of power to do that. A whole lot of power. A whole lot of power that you have access to, you just won't tap. And you want to know why? Because you're scared. I'm going to have you consider you're scared. You're not scared of failing. Do you know what I think you're really scared of? Consider this. Consider that what you're really afraid of is the fact that you might actually have to lead. See, when you're weak and you're not doing anything, you can just lean on people like me to lead. Well, I just watch Garrett's videos and he can lead. That's why nobody talks shit about me on the internet. No one that talks shit about me on the internet does what I do on the internet. Because they'd be exposed in 15 fucking seconds as weak-ass men with no power who have shit to hide. The end. See, a powerful man gains his power with the momentum of doing what's required in front of him. And this weird thing opens up. Watch this. I'm going to show you something here. I'm out on a trail right now. If I want to get to that peak over there, or if I want to get to that summit of that mountain over there, do you understand I can't get to that summit unless I first run down this fucking trail? And so I can sit over here and ask all these stupid fucking questions about what happens over on that summit. But the reality is I still have been unwilling to move these feet down that trail to that checkpoint, and then to that checkpoint, and then to the checkpoint behind it, and then to the checkpoint behind it, and eventually I'll end up there. But see, you are so worried about up there, and you're so worried about what the fuck happens over there, or you're so worried about there. You're back there. You're way back there, or you're way up there on that summit, and so where does that keep you? Keeps you stuck right here. You're just sitting on this big-ass rock. Yep. They're just sitting on it. Sitting on a rock. Going through another day. Being like, man, my marriage still is not what I want. My money is still not what I want. My body is still not what I want. I really wish I knew how to do something about it. But you know what to do about it. Like you do. You know what to do about it. You just won't fucking do it. So people say, why come to WarriorCon for? Why learn the Warrior's way? I say, it's simple. I'm not going to teach anything. Teach you anything new you don't already know? Not. What I'm going to show you is a unique sequence in which I DJ'd together fundamental principles, tools, techniques, and tactics into a sequence that makes sense. Not for everybody. Doesn't fucking make sense for everybody. Does not. But it does make sense for the room of guys I'm going to be here training today. Because guess what? Most of the dudes are married, entrepreneurs, with kids, who are living inside of a political nightmare, an inflation nightmare, a crashing stock market, 2.5 years out of COVID, trying to manage their fucking kids' tendencies to be addicted, confused in their gender, women and men who have abandoned God, and all amidst all this still have to run a profitable organization. See, if you're a 9-to-5er, you're a checker and a router, and you love the weekends and fucking around at the lake and not having to think about payroll, well, guess what? You're not my guy. Because my guy doesn't know how to turn that shit off. My guy drinks to try to turn it off. He's not a bad man. He's not a bad man. He just doesn't know how to fucking survive. Not sure how to engage his kids. What do you do when your teenagers aren't sure if they're men, women, or they're transgender? They're fucking bisexual. You're like, what do I do with this? What's my answer, coach? How do I deal with this? There's no manual on this shit. What do I do? My kids are entitled as fuck based upon everything they're being told on social media. How do I operate with a wife who's constantly changing and I'm constantly evolving? How do I deal with a battle with my wife while a battle at the office, while a battle with the kids, and a battle with myself, and a battle with the marketplace, and battle with social media, and battle with my guys? How do I deal with this battle? I said, well, we start with you. So what's the outcome? What's the top of that ridge, right? So when we turn this thing around and people say, well, Garrett, what's up there? What's at the top of this mountain? What's up on the top of this mountain that's so great that it would be worth all this work? And I ask a simple question. What's so great about this shitty life that you're living in right now that would have you stay? Huh? This is what's so wild to me. People are like, well, prove to me why I should take this journey on. I said, prove to me why you should stay where you are. Like, you tell me. You tell me why you should fucking stay where you are. You've always got a decision. You've always got a choice. And you've got to make a decision. And what's that decision? I'm either going to do what's required, or I'm not going to fucking do what's required. The end. Morning, brother. Like, there's no other option. And every single day, you have to face that same decision. Gentlemen, nobody's going to set you free. No one's going to set you free. Nobody's coming to save you. You can go to church and accept Jesus all day long. Jesus may save your soul, but you are still a slave in this life. You're not liberated, and you're stuck. Or the worst part, you ready for the worst part? You know who the most stuck are? People think the most stuck are guys who are in deep pain of lack of results. But you know who I have found has the deepest amount of pain, and why WarriorCon 4 and the Warrior's Way is absolutely for this guy? Do you know who it is? It's my guys who are very good men, who have hit the checklist from a religious perspective. They've hit the checklist from a fitness perspective. They've hit the checklist from a business perspective. They've hit the checklist. And they're still not free. And the marriage is still disconnected, and they're great friends, but there's no sexual passion, there's no longing, there's no wanting, there's no feeling desired. Do you know one of the fundamental desires of a man, if you're a lady and you're watching this, is to be sexually desired and devoured by his wife? Do you understand this? Like, it's not enough to just offer up a vagina. A man's after more than that. Powerful men are after being wanted. This is why they cheat. They don't cheat because of a vagina. They cheat because they want to feel wanted. They don't want another vagina. They want to feel wanted. And so the dry, sterile, sanitized, typically Christian box sex life they've been offered up is not offering them the feeling of being wanted. Now, I'm not excusing a lot of these men for their soft, fucked up, stupid behaviors and how they've operated for decades, including myself, to create a picture that just made them undesirable to be wanted. But at the end of the day, having this much data on as many men as I have, I will tell you right now, men are after things a whole lot different than you think. At the end of the day, men are after power, men are after purpose, men are after progress, men are after profit, results. This is what we have been doing for a decade here at Wake Up Word. It's not rocket science. It's simple. It's not complicated. You can choose it every single day. My man's choosing it right here. Look at him getting it up the mountain. Oh, boy. Listen, you don't have to go fast. Just fucking get moving. Like, that's the piece. You don't have to go fast. Just fucking get moving. This is the problem. You won't fucking move. So here's my challenge to you if you watch this video. Fucking move. You know one of the moves I want you to make? I want you to click on the link on this bio or click on the link associated with this video. Stop fucking around. Get yourself registered for WarriorCon 4. Get your ass in the game with me and let me prove to you the shit I'm talking about. Because there are tools and techniques for moving and handling the shit that's in front of you. Today, that's what I'll work on for 4 hours with these men and a few women here at Power Room in Lake Tahoe, Nevada / California. We'll work on what? We'll work on getting to power, and then that place of power being able to translate that into productive results. It's not rocket science. Stop making it so hard. So my final question for you as we wrap up today is this. Are you ready to be honest about why you don't have what you want? And by the way, the marketing community wants to tell you it's not your fault. They're full of shit. The direct response marketing community wants to tell you it's not your fault so you feel good about yourself so that you'll buy shit. Do you understand that? That's a marketing tactic. It's propaganda. They tell you all the shit that's going on, and then they give you the big, huge, make you feel good about yourself. Gentlemen, you have been systematically sedated for the past 150 years. Your behaviors and patterns have been ingrained in you since you were a boy. Your father's father didn't know what to do, and your father didn't know what to do, and so you don't know what to do. And that's okay. It's not your fault. And guess what? Fuck them. It is your fault. No one's to blame for your results. Not your dad, not your grandpa, not the president, not your wife, not your pastor, not your kids, not your mentor, not your coach, not your mastermind. You. And until you're willing to fucking own that, you're just going to keep buying more shit from the marketing community that wants to tell you it's not your fault. By the way, listen to it. You'll hear it in almost every single fucking pitch. Don't worry. It's not your fault. Fuck you. It is your fault. The good news is, if it's your fault, guess what? You can fix it. If I've taken this rock right here, and I have placed this rock squarely up my ass. I have shoved it and penetrated my ass with this rock, and I'm the one that put it there. Well, guess what? The only person I can be upset about for putting this rock straight up my ass is myself. And the good news is, if I put this rock up my ass, then I can definitely take this rock straight out of my ass. But if you put that rock in my ass, number one, we got a lot of fucking problems. In fact, you fit that fucking rock. I even gave you an opportunity to put that rock in my ass. That's another topic for another day. If you put the rock in my ass, and it's your fucking fault my marriage doesn't work, and it's my parents' fault that my marriage doesn't work, and it's my dad's fault, well, guess what? Then I got to wait until all these people are willing to set me free. Please, set me free. Save me from my captivity. Help me be free. Help me be free. Help me be free. And that is the United States of America. That's why 90% of the people in the United States of America are full of shit. They're fucking weak. They don't represent America. They don't represent freedom. They don't represent liberty. They don't represent trust. They represent a whole bunch of people that shoved rocks up their asses, and then they point at the government and they point at everybody else looking for a handout to please take this rock out of my ass. Take this rock out of my ass, please. Please take this rock out of my ass. And I'm sitting here saying, if you want the rock out of your ass, take the fucking rock out of your own ass. The fucking end. It's not rocket science. It is rock science. Huh? It's not rocket science. It's rock science. Get that rock out of your ass, son. Get yourself registered for WarriorCon 4. I'm going to finish the rest of my run here in Lake Tahoe. It's beautiful. They said the air quality is low. I don't give a shit. I'm in the mountain, son. We're running. Do some workout, get sweaty on, finish a bunch of meetings, and then run a fucking intense event today with a bunch of badasses here with Andrew Cordeau and his group here at Power Room. Check them out if you don't know who they are. Powerful group of people, entrepreneurs meet around the country. I'm here this week. Next week, I'm a funnel hacking live. A week and a half. I got King's Council next week. We got a lot of shit happening. Yeah, you might need a surgeon to get that rock out of your ass. Well, we got the scalpels to help you cut it out here at Warrior. So if you need to... You need to surgically cut that rock out of your ass, my friend. I got warrior tools to help you carve that out. By the way, side note, Abraham in the Bible circumcised himself. So if he circumcised himself, I'm quite confident that you could take a surgical knife and cut a rock out of your ass. You know the crazy part, too, is Abraham had to go convince 300 of his top guys to grab a sharp rock and cut the penis off their foreskin, too. Isn't that crazy? The man had to circumcise himself with a fucking rock. Then he had to convince his buddies to circumcise themselves with a fucking rock. Do you understand what kind of power and influence you have to convince 300 men to take a rock and cut a piece of skin off their penis? That's fucking power. That's influence. Or that's pure fucking psychosis. I don't know what the fuck it is. Side note also, you know one thing that irritates me about Abraham? You ready? I could be irritated about Abraham. You want to know why I'm irritated about Abraham? I'll tell you. Here's why I'm irritated about Abraham. Abraham, the whole book, in the book of Genesis, they're talking about how God doesn't give him any kids, right? I don't have any kids. I don't have any kids. I don't have any kids. Give me a kid, Lord. Give me a kid, Lord. I want a kid with my wife. He can't have any. So what does he do? His wife says, listen, why don't you hook up with my friend? Why don't you sleep with my friend? So Abraham's kind of like, you can imagine that catch-22. That was a fucking nightmare. Seriously. Abraham's looking at his wife. He's like, are you serious right now? You want me to sleep with your friend? Like, am I supposed to do this for real right now? Yeah, I want you to sleep with her because I can't get pregnant, so why don't you get her pregnant? Why don't you sleep with her? And he's like, dude, as a guy, come on. You're sitting there going, really? Is there a catch-22 right here? Imagine if your wife came to you right now and said, hey, why don't you sleep with my friend? Maybe some of you do have a wife who would say, go sleep with my friend. I don't know. But Abraham sleeps with her friend. She gets her pregnant. She has a baby, and then his wife gets pissed off that she has a baby called Isaac and disappears. Right? So she disappears because she's pissed off. But here's a big catch-22. At the end of Abraham's life, the very end, they slipped a verse in the Bible. I was laughing my ass off when I read it the first time last year. I was sitting there reading it. For those who don't know, I came to Christ about a year ago. I don't do church kind of the church way. I do it my way. I'm like Saul to Paul. So I'm a little rough around the edges, and I'm not ever going to change that shit. So here we go. And so I'll read the Bible a little bit different than everybody else. I catch things that pastors don't want to talk about. So I'm sitting there and I'm reading at the very, very last end of it. And you know what they say at the end? Not only does Abraham have a baby with his wife and a baby with his wife's girlfriend or her handmaiden, they go on to tell me that this man had children with many concubines. Do you know what that translates out to? That greedy motherfucker was already having lots of babies. He just wanted to have one baby with the one woman he couldn't have a baby with. That is typical man behavior. We get all the shit we want, but then we want to bitch and moan about the one thing we didn't get. Well, we didn't get to have a baby with that vagina and that woman, but I did get to have babies with the 73 over there. Gentlemen, there's your Bible, Gary J. Weiss style today. Have a great day. I'm out. Heading off to Power Room. Go train for the rest of the day. You know what you need to do. You need to probably not interpret anything I say about the Bible with any much seriousness, because the stuff I say, I kind of say it tongue in cheek. I respect it. If you respect it, it's beautiful. I love it. Don't take it that way. I just like to give you the little raw style. For the rest of you, get your tickets to WarriorCon 4. You can do that by clicking the link in my bio and or clicking the link associated with this video. I'm out. This is Gary J. Weiss. Signing off saying love it like a more. Good afternoon. And